This is every fight to make after UFC 310, Pantoja versus Asakura. I got every fighter that's important on the card, on the screen. I'm going to match make their next opponent one by one in this video. And kind of be realistic on what could be next and what should be next and what the UFC might target as well. Let's start with the main event. Alejandro Pantoja got a great win over Kai Asakura. I was salty, but he won impressively. Like, Pantoja, that's probably his best performance. I mean, the Alex Perez one was really, really good, but I think Kai Asakura is probably better than Alex Perez. So, I think that's probably his best performance so far in his career. I mean, obviously there is these performances, but recently, this is his best performance. And, people now can look at Pantoja as, oh, he just got a great finish. Good performance. Usually Pantoja takes it to a decision, wins a controversial one over Steve Erceg. But what's next for Pantoja? Now, I was thinking Royval. I was thinking, you know what? I think they're just going to do the Royval fight again. Royval has kind of earned himself a shot. But I'm thinking, you know what? I think the UFC might put Pantoja. I think they might give him a super fight. Because he just beat their guy. They really wanted Asakura to win the UFC. And, you know, I picked Asakura to win. Oh, well. But, you know, I think you're going to have to do Pantoja a favor now, man. Beats Erceg. I know he should have lost, but he beat him technically still. Beat Asakura. Beats anyone who you put in front of him. I think his next opponent's Umar Nurmagomedov. Now, I think this is going to be for the bantamweight title. I think Umar will beat Merab. And then I think they're going to do Umar versus Pantoja. Kind of decide who is going to be the one at the top and get rid of one of them. In Umar's case, I mean, if Umar loses, then he's not champ anymore. If Pantoja loses, he's still the flyweight champ. But this could also be Merab. Merab's face can also be here, but I do believe Umar is going to beat Merab. I think you got to give him a super fight and a double champ status fight. You have to. I think you have to at this point. I think if you put him against Royval, he beats Royval. That's kind of Royval done. So I think you need to build up flyweight slowly, and then have Umar beat Merab. If Merab wins, do Merab versus Pantoja. Sean O'Malley needs to get a fucking win. I don't give a fuck. He can't just sit out and just wait. O'Malley needs to fight Yan in the meantime. And if it's O'Malley, then give O'Malley his shot. But if it's Yan, I prefer a Pantoja super fight more than Yan. Although I love Yan more. I think you gotta give Pantoja a double champ status fight. And if he wins, he's the bantamweight champ. We can't do much about that, but if you gotta give him the opportunity. He just whooped Asakura. You know? Like, he keeps beating everyone. So let's do him versus the winner of Umar Merab, which I do believe will be Umar, but if it's Merab versus Pantoja. Like, this is what we need to do now. Like, we can't just, like, yeah, Kara France is an option, but they would have matched Pantoja against Kara France for this card, but instead they gave it to Kai Asakura. So I don't think they're interested in Kara France getting a shot. They chose Asakura over him for a reason. And it's just Royval. Yeah, Royval's earned it, but he's lost twice, convincingly twice. Made them competitive whilst getting finished in one of them, but there's no hype to that either. So, and Moreno lost 3 times as well, technically. Twice in the UFC, but one, like, exhibition. So 3 times in people's minds, but twice on paper. Not interested. I don't care how close the first fight was. And Steve Erceg's coming off a loss to Kara France, so he's probably need to get a few wins now. So there's just nothing. Amir Albazi just lost. Tatsuro Taira just lost. Yeah, I'd say you do Pantoja versus the winner of Umar Merab. And then build up flyweight slowly in terms of that, while Pantoja's gone to go up to bantamweight. We move Kai Asakura lost to Pantoja. Now, it wasn't, like, I get it was not great. He got choked out, finished, kind of shown levels in that fight in terms of the grappling. Kai Asakura, I think, personally, it wasn't a bad loss. It's not like he got fucking slept out cold and that was it. That would have been bad. He got choked out by Pantoja. Oh, well. He'll be back. Alright, it was his debut. I think the next opponent for him should be, and I think this might be unfair. And this might be a treatment, so I don't know what to really do here. Maybe you make it as a co-main to show, you know what, we're not going to give this guy treatment. But I think it's Tatsuro Taira while you can. Because Asakura, I'm worried for him. I'm worried because his style is risky. He could get subbed again. He could get slept out cold. So let's not risk that against a guy like Bruno Silva. Let's not risk it against a guy like fucking Joshua Van, who got a good win last weekend. Good for him. Let's do it now. Let's do this now. Alright, Tatsuro Taira, Asakura. If Asakura wins this, then we're one fight away from a title shot again. If he wins this, then he needs one more, then a title shot, I'm saying. Not just this and then back to a belt. But if he loses this, then he's not that good, and he's done. So, who would win this? I think Asakura can win, but it is risky now, because I know now that he can be choked out. It's sad. This guy would be such a better champ than fucking Pantoja, man, but whatever. The world we live in, we don't get everything. So yeah, good win from... not a good win. This is the fight you make. I don't know why I just said that. Asakura, Taira. Japan main event would be awesome, but I feel like it'd be treatment towards Asakura. And I feel like it'd be a good co-main with like a main event of Zhang Wei Li versus, if she beats Tatiana Suarez, Verna Jandiroba. I know she's Chinese, but it's the same. It's close, you know. So this would be like a good co-main like of a fight night. To just not make it a treatment thing. Because Asakura just got himself a UFC debut opportunity. A title shot in a main event. So, you kind of have to push him back a bit. But I'd say title fight while you can. We move on. Shavkat Rakhmonov, yeah, his next opponent, Bilal. It's obvious, you know. Like, I could say here and say, oh, he doesn't really deserve it. He's kind of got it. He kind of has to get it now. I mean, yeah, there's fights you can make with Shavkat JDM and Shavkat this guy, that guy, Usman. But nah, Shavkat versus Bilal. You have to do it, I think. At this point, it was supposed to happen. He just beat Ian Garry. Good win. He has to get it now. I mean, they were facing off in the cage. Like, it's just gonna happen. Bilal, Shavkat. Whenever you like, to be honest. Like, I know there's title fights that need to be made. I know Dricus Strickland's now made. I think Dricus will win. I know I haven't made any fight announcements to that. I do believe Makhachev beats Arman, Umar beats Marab, and I think Dricus will beat Sean Strickland. We'll see. I know I didn't make a video for that, but it's kind of too late now. But I do believe those guys will win. So let's go. I say you do this. Well, I do believe Dricus will beat Sean Strickland. But this is what you do. Bilal, Shavkat, whenever you want. Close fight. 50-50. I do believe Shavkat can still win. But Bilal can also win. Because Bilal, I think, is a better offensive wrestler than Ian Garry. And Garry didn't really get Shavkat down, to be fair. But he, was holding him against the clinch. If Bilal can do that, Bilal is a way better offensive wrestler. So it's an interesting matchup. I do believe Shavkat on the feet is just... Ian Garry was a stylistically tough fight for him. I think Bilal will be a bit easier. But I know people won't like that because he had a mid-performance against Garry. I don't know. I think Bilal would lose still, but he can win. Like, we all doubted him against Edwards. But I think he'd win. I think Shavkat, Bilal, next fight to make. Whenever you want. We move on. Ian Garry. Now... timing-wise, hopefully he doesn't... Garry did take some sort of damage a bit, but not really. few scratches. Don't think he broke anything. I'm thinking, you know what? March, April return against... I know this looks ugly as hell, but the winner of Joaquin Buckley, Colby Covington now. Either way, this is a massive fight. If it's Joaquin Buckley, it was supposed to happen. The original fight, Buckley versus Garry next week, would have been massive. That would have been massive. The Buck versus the... You know? If you know, the Buck versus the Guck. I'll say that so YouTube doesn't copyright me, but you know. The Buck versus the Guck. You know? That would have been huge. And if Colby wins, Colby-Garry is just a fight that needed to happen for years. So either way, winner of this fight versus Ian Garry would be huge. In Miami, if Buckley wins, Buckley versus Garry, rebook it again. If Colby wins, no more ducking, Colby. If you're willing to fight Joaquin Buckley, you're willing to fight Ian Garry. Because I feel like Buckley's going to destroy Colby next week. So I don't know why he thinks this is the fight where he can win but not Garry. Stupid. I don't know what Colby's mind is, but still. We'll see. The winner of this fight, though, Buckley-Colby, should fight Ian Garry. And I know Ian would be... I know Buckley would be above Ian in the rankings if he were to beat Colby, but it's still a fight I want to see. And I don't think Ian's going to look back at a fucking Michael Morales. Like, I just don't see him doing that. I don't see him looking back at a fucking... Maybe Stephen Thompson, but I feel like Thompson's going to be fed to someone soon. Like a Morales himself, or like a Protest or something, you know? Or like a Renat, or like something like that. Or like a Chiesa, even. So I think you should do this fight. We move on. Winner of Ian Garry versus... winner of... Ian Garry should face the winner of Buckley Covington. We move on. Alexander Volkov. One. I actually have something here. Now, I know people are just going to match up Aspinall and Gane. I know they're just going to book that. Or just put him against like a title shot Gane now. You know what? Fuck that. Give him a title shot. Now, Gane's face isn't on the screen here. Gane can fight someone. I just didn't have enough room. Fuck Gane. He knows he lost. I know he said he had a good performance, but I don't care. You lost a fight to Volkov. 2 rounds to 1, clear. So I'd say Volkov against Aspinall. Now, this is if Jones ducks him or not. I want to see this. If Aspinall beats Jones, and then after that fights Volkov, good. If Jones ducks, they just do this fight, good. I know this won't happen, but Jose Aldo, hear me out, lost to Marlon Moraes, but should have won the fight, right? He got a fucking title shot after. Aldo's been champion. Volkov hasn't even sniffed a title shot before. So, hear me out, UFC. Aldo lost to Moraes, split decision. Aldo won the fight. What the fuck was this? Moraes did not win. But Aldo still got a title shot. Was supposed to fight Cejudo, but that never happened. Then he ended up fighting Yan for a vacant belt. Give Volkov the same treatment. Alright? Like, he's never even had a title shot. He would have had it locked in if he had gotten that decision. Fuck Cyril Gane. He's had it and failed twice. I'm not counting the Lewis win at all. I'm not counting the Lewis win, because it's Derek fucking Lewis, and it's an interim title. He failed against Ngannou, failed against Jones, beat Spivak, good win, but lost to Volkov. Volkov versus Aspinall. If Aspinall fights Jones or not, this is the next fight I want to see. This is what I want to see. I want to see him fight for a world title. And even if Jones wins, Jones fight Volkov. Like, I want this fight. Volkov getting the title shot next. I'm not accepting anything else. And if I see him booked against anyone else, there will be issues. This guy's deserved of a title shot. He beat Pavlovich. Gane can fight fucking Curtis Blades or fucking Almeida versus Spivak winner. Almeida, hopefully, in that case. Fuck anything else. Volkov should get a title shot. If Aldo gets one after losing to Moraes, and that was Aldo's bantamweight debut as well. Volkov's been on a tear, and you took it away from him. Volkov versus Aspinall next is the fight I want to see, and the fight I'm gonna fucking see. Fuck Ciryl Aspinall. Aspinall will fucking wreck his head. Aspinall will destroy him, because Gon's shit and not that good at all. Volkov versus Tom Aspinall. Next fight I want to see, the next fight I'm gonna see. We move on. Realistically, though, it makes sense. Aldo got a title shot for fucking losing. Moraes, technically, but should have won. Volkov should get the same treatment, no? If anyone argues with me on that, you're banned from my channel forever. I don't give a fuck. We move on. Movsar Evloev won against Aljamain Sterling. I think his next opponent should be, it's obvious. It's Diego Lopez. It's just obvious. Like, yeah, we could go here and say, oh, this guy, that guy. No, it's Diego Lopez. I think Volk's going to get a title shot against Topuria. Ilya Topuria versus Alexander Volkanovski 2. I just think they're going to do that fight. Topuria versus Volk 2. Ilya versus Volk 2. And I think that's what they're going to do. So I think Movsar Evloev versus Diego Lopez, #1 contender fight, is just perfect. We can finally see who the better man is. I think it's close. I think Lopez probably beats him, though. If I'm going to be completely real with you guys. I think Lopez probably could beat him. But it's close. It is close. But this is what I want to see. I want to see Evloev versus Lopez 2. To find out who's next in line. I want this fight. And, yeah, sucks for Aljo. I don't know what's next for him. But I'm sure something good can pop up for him. Maybe like a decent fight. Like, I don't know who exactly. Maybe Yair or something. I don't know. Something good, though. And, yeah, this is what I want to see. Bryce Mitchell got a good win over Kron Gracie. Another guy that got a great win on this card over Nate Landwehr is Dooho Choi. Or Dooho Choi. Dooho Choi, though, got a great win over Nate Landwehr. This is the next fight. Choi's, I think, ready for a ranked opponent. If Kron Gracie can get one, in any sort of world in 2024, Dooho Choi with 2 sick wins back-to-back over Algio and Landwehr, and should have beaten Nelson as well, should get a ranked opponent. Nate Landwehr, I think, was highly ranked outside the ranking area. He's earned that now. He's earned one now, in my opinion, against Bryce Mitchell. Close matchup, I think, as well. I do believe Choi probably beats Mitchell at this point. Mitchell's good, but I think Choi is just looking slick as fuck lately. So I think you should do this fight. Dooho Choi, Bryce Mitchell. Make it happen. We move on to Dominic Reyes, who got a good win over Anthony Smith. I want to see Roundtree fight someone decent. Like, I want to see Roundtree versus, like, an easy, alright fight. I know people are saying Roundtree, Oberg. Fuck off. Oberg can fight Rakic. Roundtree can fight the loser of Jamal Hill, Yuri Prohaska. And we can do Dominic Reyes against Volkan Ozdemir in the rematch. This is what should happen. Like, why can't we just do this? You know? This is the fight I want to see. Really. It was the first fight it was close the first time. I think this is a perfect, okay. Reyes, you beat Smith, you beat Jacoby. This is a decent fight. If he wins this, it's a risky one for Reyes. I think he can win, but it's a real risky one because Reyes could be slept. I think he'd win, though, but it is close. But I don't know, bro.